What is up, everybody? Back with some more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Regulation F VGC. We got another team that was actually made by me. We're going to be having a session for today. Before I get into this, you guys want to skip right to the battles for this team. This team I made around a bunch of cool stuff. It has SCRAFTY. Mainly Raikou was the thing I was looking to build around, but I just threw a bunch of other really cool stuff on here. Comfey, Physical, Dragapult, and a few other things. Iron Crown, Ursaluna. So if you guys want to skip to the battles, I'll throw a timestamp on screen for you guys right now. I will also have a Poke Paste for this team down in the description down below if you guys want to use this team on Showdown. I'm going to talk a little bit about this team probably for like probably 10 minutes because I ended up ranting for way too long, but they're going to hop in some games with this team. One thing I want to go over before I do get into this, kind of just talking about this team just starting out. This team I do not think is really like the craziest, like at least actually like viable team. This is a team that's mainly more fun. It requires a lot of setup to actually get rolling, and it's kind of easy to shut down. I also had this team pretty much made. It was almost done kind of when the Regulation F got confirmed, and now like that Regulation F got confirmed and look, we know everything that's going to be legal. A lot of the sweaty teams are starting to get built. Everybody's being really sweaty on the ladder, and everybody's pretty much testing their teams that they're going to be using here in about a week and a half when the new regulation drops officially on the in-game ladder for ranked. So this team was kind of pretty much done before that announcement, so that's why this team might struggle a little bit into some of those more sweaty teams. I did try it on Showdown after that, and I kind of tested some stuff. There's a lot of changes I would have made to this team if I knew, like if I would have just waited until after they announced like the regulation, like the official stuff that was going to be legal and everything, but I just decided to throw it in game. I had the majority of the stuff already in game, so I figured I might as well build it. And it turned out being a really fun team to use. I wanted to use Raikou. Raikou was on this team. I threw it onto this team. Raikou was my favorite mon. My favorite Pokemon ever is Raikou. I wanted to originally use it on a Rain team. Unfortunately, Raikou right now, you just really can't fit it on Rain at all. If you're running on Rain, like there's just so many better options. If you're running an Electro type in Rain, you're either going to be running Archlodon or you're going to be running like Thundurus T because it has Wild Bolt Storm and it's just way better. And there's a few other things in Rain that you're going to be running. You're either going to be running either a Swift Swim user or you're just going to be running like Urshifu, and then if you want to run like an Electro type, there's just way better options right now. And even like Raging Bolt is just way better in Rain. It's more bulky and it has better stats, so I really wanted to run into Rain, just couldn't really throw it onto a team. I tried so many Rain teams with it and it just ended up not really working how I wanted it to. So the only other way I really thought about making it work was in the supportive aspect. It gets a really good support move pool. It has really good stats to be a supportive mon. It gets Electro Web, which is brand new. It gets Snarl, the lower special attack, and also gets dual screens, so I threw it onto this team and kind of just built around that with this team. And then I wanted to use SCRAFTY. SCRAFTY is a mon that I've been wanting to use for quite a while already. I threw SCRAFTY on this team with the Terra Poison. The only problem with SCRAFTY is it's really weak to like a lot of the fairy types running around, and it gets intimidated really easily by a lot of the Intimidate mons. But one of the good things is it also has Intimidate, which is a really good ability currently. So it has a few things going for it. It has also a really great move pool. It has a bunch of really cool stuff it can use, a lot of good coverage, but at least for this, I just ran, I think it was like all the EV spreads for this are in the Poke Paste down below. I don't know the exact EV spreads on all of these mons off the top of my head, at least just talking about it currently. The Raikou is max HP, max speed, timid. I'm not sure about the SCRAFTY. I think the SCRAFTY is max HP, and I have some defense and special defense investment. And then it's just mainly a bulk up user. You pair it alongside the Raikou under screens, which just slows everything down and then snarls everything to death while you set up to like +2 or +3 and you start sweeping that way. Or alongside like the Comfey is also really good. You set it alongside that and you're able to get fully healed back up with floral healing if you take damage while you sit up and that type of thing. So it's also a dark type, so you are immune to Prankster if you stay a dark type, which is kind of cool. Apart from that, it's just really slow. That's the only main problem with SCRAFTY. It's really slow, and until you're able to at least set up like 1 or 2 bulk ups, its damage really is not that good. So one thing you kind of have to be careful for. I got the Dragapult on this team. I wanted a really fast mon. I wanted two things that were at least fast on this team and not like incredibly slow or like need any type of setup to just come in and start doing damage. I haven't used Dragapult in forever. It's kind of fallen off, but I still think it's really, really solid. I got the max HP, max attack. I just threw Terra Dragon on this thing. Usually if you're going to be running a Terra on this team, it's going to be either for the Scrafty or the Ursaluna, and then sometimes like the Iron Crown. You're not going to be really tearing much else. Sometimes maybe Dragapult, but kind of very rarely for everything else. But even though I just have defensive Terras on a lot of the other stuff, just in case it comes to that point. With the Clear Body allows you to not get intimidated, which was also really good. Incineroar is everywhere, Landorus T is everywhere, there's a bunch of other stuff running around with Intimidate that's really common. So, you just don't really want to be getting intimidated. Icy Wind's really common right now. You have a lot of Prankster Mons running like a bunch of stuff that just lowers your speed, or Snarl's pretty spammable right now too. A lot of supportive Mons are running like stat debuffing type moves, so really good ability to have. And then I got the Phantom Force on there. Phantom Force actually breaks through Protect, so if somebody tries to Protect in your face, it goes behind Protect and you still do damage, so it's a guaranteed hit move, unless they have a normal type. Which isn't really common right now. There's not really many super common normal types. Comfey on this team, I threw Comfey on here with the Covert Cloak. Triage gives you a +3 priority on your healing type moves. I got the max HP, max defense, bold nature on this thing. Keep in mind, Calm Mind with no speed investment is actually kind of slow. So unless the enemy team is just incredibly slow team, you're usually not going to be going first without max speed, even though you're base 100. So keep that in mind if you like Calm Mind turn 1 with this thing. But you get a +3 Draining Kiss, which actually outspeeds Fake Out. So if you predict somebody's going to be going for Fake Out on you, you can actually go for a Draining Kiss and kind of play around it that way, and they can just waste damage. And then you got the Floral Healing, which is the main thing. You're just going to be healing. Like your other mons are going to be setting up. Stuff like the Scrafty, stuff like the Ursaluna mainly. And you could also use it alongside the Dragapult or the Iron Crown, which works pretty well at the same time. I got the Iron Crown on this team. I wanted a Steel type on this team to have the Fairy Dragon Steel Core. Iron Crown's brand new. I got the Speed Booster, Booster Energy, so you get a +1 speed boost. I think it's 80 something HP. 172 special attack and max speed, just so you're able to get the speed booster. I got the Tachyon Cutter, Psychic, and then Focus Blast for like steel types, and mainly just for Incineroar, otherwise you get completely walled by that thing. And then the Terra Water, that way you can kind of go against some stuff that normally would kind of destroy you, just because your typing really isn't the greatest to a lot of the dark types recently. So it is mainly more of a defensive typing, allow you to stick around a little bit longer. And then I got the Ursaluna on this team with the Shovelberry. The main thing with this Ursaluna is you want to at least get to like +2 with Calm Mind. Once you get to +2, there's not really much that can live anything. I got a max HP, I think it's like 100 defense on this, and I think I threw the rest into special defense. I think that's the EV spread for this thing with like I think it's either a modest nature or like a minus speed plus special attack nature. I'm not 100% sure, I'd have to go check again, but you guys gotta bear with me. I've just had this team done for about a few days already. The Calm Mind, Earth Power, Blood Moon's a little bit kind of bad because people can kind of play around it with Protect, but it pretty much one-shots everything, especially at +2. I think it's a guaranteed 1 KO on almost everything that is not resisted. So, and then with Mind's Eye, you're also able to hit stuff like Flutter Mane and a lot of the more common Ghost types, stuff that goes Terra Ghost as well for neutral damage, and they can't dodge any normal moves, which is really cool. So overall, really cool team. I also actually was testing this team earlier today, just before I recorded this, and I actually ran into somebody on the ladder that was actually using one of my teams. If you guys missed a few videos back, I actually made a sand team around Excadrill. I was actually playing against somebody that was actually using my rental team on the casual ladder, which was really cool. So I forgot what the IGN of that person was, but if you were using my team on the casual ladder, you got a sneak peek on what this team could actually do. So that's kind of cool. I've never ran into anybody on the casual ladder that was actually using one of my teams, my previous teams that I featured on my channel, at least that I made. So that was really cool. That was a first for me. That was really fun as well. And I was actually hopeful I actually won, and I actually did, because I should be able to win against my own team. I know everything about it, so I was gonna be really mad if I somehow lost. But that was really cool as well. But one last thing before we get into this, thanks for all the support on the recent videos, everybody. I'm going to keep on trying to bring you guys daily uploads. As long as the support on the videos is good going forward, I didn't really upload on Christmas because I wasn't really around. I didn't have time to really upload, so I'm going to keep on trying to bring you guys daily uploads. If the support stays really high on the videos and everything goes really good like usual, I'll keep on trying to bring you guys daily uploads going forward. Apart from that, let's hop into some matches with this team. Like I said, a rental code up in the corner, Pokey Paste for this team in the description down below if you guys want to use it. By all means, if you want to use a really fun team, try it out. It has a lot of flaws, which we'll talk about at the end of the video, and some stuff I would have probably changed with the team just going like before I even loaded into the game and made it in game that I would have changed automatically, but we're just going to YOLO and see how it does. Alright, we're here with game number 1. My opponent has a really cool team. They have the Florges, Chandelure, Mindshaw, which I haven't seen in forever, Como-O, Clodsire, and I think that's Lurantis. I was going to say Levania. I think that's Lurantis. So, one more thing before I talk about this real quick, before we hop in this game. I'm just going to try to talk about this. I'll talk about it when we get into the match, but I don't know what I actually bring here. Actually, Ursaluna looks really good. Ursaluna looks really good here. I don't know if I want to go Comfey, though. I mean, I guess I can go Comfey. Comfey lead ain't too bad here. I think Comfey Ursaluna lead is really good. I think when you're actually using this team, you kind of got to look at your opponent's team. If they're more physically, like, offensive, usually the Raikou SCRAFTY is a really good lead. And if they're more, like, not really as physically offensive, you don't really need the Intimidate as much as a lead. And if the Comfey and Ursaluna pair very well as a lead, that's usually what you're going to be looking at. Those are like the two leads with this team you're going to want to be looking at most of the time for the majority of your games. Doesn't mean you can't use anything else, though. Like, if you really want to lead with, like, Dragapult and stuff, you can use that as well. I think I do bring SCRAFTY here still, and then I'm going to bring Dragapult in the back. I'm just hoping he doesn't bring Clodsire, but, like, if he brings Clodsire, I can kind of just try to set up on it. Hopefully it's not unaware and it's water absorbed. If you guys like these videos, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. Really appreciate it. Really helps out the channel. The one other thing I did want to mention too with this team is if you guys are going to be using the rental code, I do not know how long the rental code will be active for. I'm going to try to keep this team active as long as possible, but I will probably not be using this team for Regulation F. It's just more of a fun team, and I don't think it's really that viable. So if the code does not work for you, let me know, and then I might update the code again and put it live for you guys again. But I don't know how long I'll have this team together because I'll probably be replacing it with some other teams going forward that I'll probably actually be using for Regulation F that are going to be way better. We lead Chandelure and Mindshaw. That actually ain't too bad. I think the worst case scenario is if he actually, like... I mean, I have Choppleberry, so, like, I don't really care what he does. If I'm being real, actually. And I actually have Drain and Kiss, which actually goes first before Fake Out, so... I don't really care what he does here. I'm just going to Calm Mind. I'm Calm Minding turn 1. He's going to attack, that's perfect. I think the worst case scenario is if he's Chandelure with, like, Trick Choice Scarf or Trick Choice Specs. Minimize. That's no good. I didn't even know Chandelure got minimized. That's news to me. I did not even know that. I don't know. I'm kind of forced to attack now because I can't let him sit here and set up on me. I'm going to try to Draining Kiss again and see how much damage it does. The Comfey, usually if you're going for Draining Kiss, without like setting up even like 1 or 2 Calm Minds, usually doesn't do that much damage. It's mainly like chip damage to break sashes, or like really solid priority, because it is +3 priority, which is pretty high. It's faster than stuff like Aqua Jet, Fake Out, and like Prankster type stuff most of the time, depending on what you're going against. I don't know. I can go for Blood Moon. I'm going to try to go for Earth Power here, and hopefully I land. Now he's going to Terra. Let me guess, Terra Grass. If he's Terra Flying, I'm going to be mad. Oh, he's going to Terra. It's Terra Steel. Yeah, it was Terra Steel. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I have Choppleberry, so like he can't really do much to me. Break a Sash. Possible Sash. Drain Punch. I got the Choppleberry. See how much this does. That doesn't do much at all. That's great. I also have the Floral Healing, so like he can just keep doing damage into the Ursaluna, and I can just keep on healing it over and over. Flamethrower, how much that do? That's at +1. It still does a solid amount. I land the Earth Powers as +1. That KOs the Chandelure, so that's great. Like right here too is like usually what you're going to be doing with the Comfey. Like the Ursaluna can live multiple hits, especially when you set up like +1 or +2 with Calm Mind. If they don't have like really heavy hitting physical or special mons on the enemy team, you can kind of just live whatever they throw at you, especially with the Chople Berry if it's like a fighting type move. And you can just Floral Healing it right back. So that's kind of what I'm going to do here. I'm going to Floral Healing. He might actually go for Detect here. So part of me kind of wants to just actually Terra normal because you think he's going to probably go for either Leaf Storm here or he might go for Superpower, but that's fine. I don't really care. I think it's mainly Leaf Storm. I'm going to Terra normal here. I don't know if I should actually just go for Blood Moon. I'm going to go for Blood Moon before he sets up. I'm not really even scared of the Mind Shell. I'm not really scared of it at all. I've got SCRAFTY in the back, so as long as I can keep getting rid of everything else on his team, SCRAFTY can kind of come in and help me later in the match. He does go for a Detect, so I'm glad I never went after the Mind Shell. Perfect. Perfect play. Floral Healing, at least from half to, like, Floral Healing does 50%, so from half you're always getting back to full guarantee, because it does 50%, that's just a 1 KO on the Lurantis. At +1, that's crazy. I don't think he was actually Assault Vest, I think maybe Assault Vest could have lived, but that tells me he's not Assault Vest Lurantis. Which I think is like the most common right now. He actually has Clodsire too, so we're going to see if this Clodsire, if it's actually unaware or if it's Water Absorb or Poison Point. I'm hoping it's like Water Absorb because that way it wouldn't really matter at all. I don't really do anything here. I don't know what he really does. I mean, I can set up Calm Mind, but I think the main thing here is just going after the Mind Shell this turn and trying to make it a 1v3. I think that's the main thing, and breaking a possible Focus Sash, which I think he still is. I don't think that really matters though, because he's going to get his health back, so we're going to find out here. If I'm going to bring him low enough, I can Draining Kiss and I can kill him at 1 HP anyways on next turn. So he's not even Sash, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter. We eat that Drain Punch too. That wasn't even with a Chople Berry and it didn't even do half. It's crazy. Poison Jab, that actually does a solid amount of damage. Oh, that was because it was a crit, so if it wasn't even a crit, it wouldn't even did that much damage. Another thing on this Comfey too, I had a lot of variations of this team in testing. This team had like a Choice Scarf, Annihilate on it at one point, and a bunch of other stuff. I kind of scrapped those teams. This Comfey also had Synthesis on it at one point, but I felt like Synthesis was kind of useless most of the times, and Calm Mind. Like double Calm Minding alongside the Ursaluna could be really good for you. It's because your opponent, especially if they don't really know what to attack, they would be forced to try to attack something you would be setting up like double most of the time, and it'd be really difficult to prepare for, so that's kind of the main thing. I'm just going to Floral Healing here, and then we're going to go for Earth Power and see how much damage it does, and we're going to find out right here if he's actually unaware or not. I don't think he actually wins. Unless he's Toxic Stall Clodsire, I think he loses here. Yeah, that is not unaware. That is Water Absorb or Poison Point. Get out of here, bud. Ursaluna putting in the work. Game number 1. Not even bad. Guy 1v4 the entire team pretty much with a little help from the Comfey. First time using Blood Moon Ursaluna as well. There's actually my own Ursaluna that I got from the DLC. I have not used it on any of my teams up until now, which is kind of cool. Really cool mon that I've just kind of been sleeping on, haven't really built with at all up until now, so it's also kind of another highlight with this team. I'll see you guys in the next game. Alright, we're here with game number 2. One thing with this team you kind of got to be careful for as well is like Defiant or competitive mons. Stuff like Empoleon is actually kind of a threat to this team as well, especially if you give them a competitive boost, because you don't really have like a lot of stuff that can take on the Water Steel typing very effectively on this team. The main thing you have for that is Raikou, and it's a supportive mon, you're not going to be doing much damage. Or like the Scrafty, but you at least have to set up to like +2 to do decent damage. And that's if they don't tear out the Empoleon. Stuff like Milotic, especially if they're like a a coil setup set with like competitive can be a problem, or Annihilate, which my opponent has here. He has the Annihilate, a Hearthflame, Ogre Pawn, Dragon Knight, Flutter Mane, and a Mungus Mimikyu. So I think what I do here, I kind of want to bring the Raikou. The Raikou is actually pretty good here. It outspeeds the majority of his teams, able to get up screens pretty well. I still kind of want to bring the SCRAFTY. I don't think he's going to bring the Annihilate, but at the same time, I don't know. I'll lead SCRAFTY. If he brings it, then whatever. I'll bring Dragapult here. I think I'll bring Blood Moon Ursaluna in the back. Unfortunately, the Iron Crown gets destroyed by everything. It gets destroyed by the Mimikyu, the Flutter, the Ogre Pawn, which I can't really do much to. I can go for Psychic, but I don't think that one-shots the Ogre Pawn, since especially because I'm not max special attack in order to get the speed boost. So he actually does lead this. He might actually be Choice Scarf Final Gambit, which could be kind of scary here. Does he get the boost? He's not. Okay, he's not Defiant. That's fine. He's not even Defiant, so that's great for me. Another thing, too, with a lot of the competitive mons, if you lead with this lead, like with the Raikou, you're going to be minusing their speed and their special attack, so the Raikou is kind of useless versus a lot of the mons that have competitive, like I talked about earlier. Empoleon, Milotic, Annihilate, there's a few other ones that also have competitive or Defiant. King Gambit's another one. If you lower their speed or their special attack, they just keep getting boost over and over. So most of the time you really don't even want to bring the Raikou most times. But we got lucky here at least. I don't know. I'm just going to go for Electro Web here. Electro Web's decent. Or actually, I'm going to go for Light Screen. Light Screen. And then I'm going to Protect on this turn in case he goes for Final Gambit. I think I might have to Terra Poison here actually just to dodge a move, but I want to see what he goes for. Moonblast. Okay, that's good. I get the Light Screen up, so he's not Choice Scarf Final Gambit. I didn't even know Annihilate got Stealth Rocks. He's throwing up the rocks, everybody. Wow, what a play. How does that even affect me? I don't know. I have nothing on my team that's actually weak to rocks. Whatever, I'll take that as a free turn. That's fine by me. And he has no competitive. He's either Vital Spirit, I think it gets Inner Focus as his other ability. I forgot what his other one is. It's not Defiant, I can tell you that. I don't even know if it pays going for Reflect. He might be more of a supportive. I'm just going to Snarl here. I'm going to start snarling, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Terra Poison bulk up. I think the one shitty thing about SCRAFTY is, like, its typing makes it 4 times weak to Fairy, and Flutter Mane being, like, on almost every single team kind of hinders it by default, so most of the times you're going to be bringing the SCRAFTY, you're forced to go Terra Poison. That actually does a lot of damage. I think that's Specs damage. You're going to be having to go Terra Poison most of the time. So if you do go Terra Poison as well, you don't have Ice Punch on this build, so like some of the common stuff when you do Terra that wants to come in and try to go after you, it's usually like Landorus T or Landorus I, which is becoming really common. That's what you kind of got to look out for. I've also seen a rise in Great Tusk for some reason, too. I've seen a lot of Great Tusk being played for whatever reason. Or at least maybe I just got lucky and ran into a bunch of them, at least on Showdown. I don't know, when I was testing this team. I did test this team a little bit in-game, though, as well, but nothing really crazy in-game. I didn't really test it that much. I had, I think, 5 or 6 games I tested it before I'm recording this for you guys. Most of my testing was on Showdown because I had like multiple iterations of this team. I tried to perfect it and make it as good as possible, like 3-4 times. It just never really worked until I got this one, and this was probably the best one out of all of them, so it's kind of what I rolled with. Until they actually confirmed the Regulation F, like everything that's going to be legal, and then I could have changed it more, but at that point it was pretty much done. So I can go for Electro Web here again. I think I'm just going to Snarl again. I'm going to Snarl, and then I'm going to go for Bulk Up again. He's going to withdraw, so he's Choice Specs Flutterbane. He is Choice Specs. That's good to know. Goes into Dragonite, that's fine. I break your multi-scale. I'm really lucky that the Annihilate's not defined, because otherwise I'd just be giving him non-stop boost. Goes for Bulldoze, whatever. That's completely fine. I don't really care about that at all. Scrafty's already really slow. Doesn't do anything to it anyways. I don't know. Like, ideally too, like, if you can get like more than 2 bulk ups going, and they have like no haze. Like, haze is kind of another problem too, but it's not really the most common. But if you can get like more than 2 bulk ups too and kind of just sweep that way and your opponent really has nothing for it, that'd be ideal. I'm gonna go for Reflect here. I don't know if I'm gonna outspeed the Dragonite now at -1, but I'm assuming that the Dragonite probably has Earthquake for me. I'm gonna scout and see what he actually has. I'm curious. I want to see if he's actually Terra Normal or if he's just Banded Earthquake. I actually still outspeed him, even at -1, that's crazy. So he must not be running much speed at all on the Annihilate or the Dragonite even. Just spamming Bulldoze now for some reason, I don't know. I mean, it hits me for super effective damage, but like it's still not doing anything because I'm at +2 defense. And he's a full-on support Annihilate. He does have Earthquake. But he's going to also be taking damage himself, so I don't understand why he's... Okay. He just did a shit ton of damage to himself. I don't care about the Raikou go down here, unfortunately, but... because it just doesn't really do much for him. I can go for Snarl again or like Electro Web, but it's not going to be doing much damage, and they're already really slow, so... I think it's better actually go out here into the Dragapult. I think without a multi-scale, I think Life Orb Dragon Claw one-shots Dragonite. If he doesn't Terra, that is. Or if he doesn't go on to Flutter Mane, which could be a problem. And then I'm going to go for a +2 knockoff here and see how much damage it does. I think it's time to start doing damage. I could set up more, but otherwise this game's going to go kind of forever. I think at +2 is enough. I need to start doing some damage. He's going to switch into Flutter Mane. Comes to Flutter Mane. Wow, what a play. What a play. So he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Wow, Enrage Fist one. I didn't even take that into consideration. I should have went for Phantom Force. That's what I should have did. That gets rid of the Annihilate though. I forgot I had my speed lowered, so I'm not as fast. He was Citrus Berry. Okay. Really weird Annihilate build. I can still win the game though, like the Dragapult going down there was really bad. But I can still win, because I'm still at +2. I know he has the Dragonite in the back, I don't know what his last mon is, but... if I can get the Ursaluna here and just kind of start doing damage, I should be pretty good, because the Flutter Mane shouldn't be able to touch me. I still have a bunch of turns of screens with the Light Clay. How many turns of screens I have? I should have at least... I have 6 turns of Reflect, 3 turns of Light Screen. So I'm doing pretty good. I kind of want to attack while the Light Screen is still up, or at least get rid of the Flutter Mane. So that's what I'm going to kind of do here. I think I'm actually better off going for knockoff. I think that's my play. I'm going to go for Blood Moon on the Dragonite, and I'm just going to start going for damage here. I'm going to knock off. I think he specs Flutter Mane. Only unfortunate thing too is like if Flutter Mane, most common Terra is like Terra Fairy. If the Flutter Manes are Terra Fairy, you don't really have much coverage on the SCRAFTY for that, because you didn't have room for like Terra Blast Poison or like Poison Jab. See how much this actually does. That's a plus, that doesn't even do anything. You're not banded. That's a 2-hit KO though. That's 100% choice specs Flutter Mane. 100 million%, even behind a screen. That's crazy. Get out of here. Goodbye. Get that shit away from me. I don't want to deal with that. Like, even investing a lot of bulk. Like, this Ursaluna has a shit ton of bulk. Even on, like, the special side, it has, like, 150-something bulk on the special side. And that was even through a screen, so... you do gotta look out for that type of stuff, like Specs Flutter Mane and that type of thing. Or even, like, Terra Fairy, Specs Flutter Mane. Because it can still almost 1-KO you a lot behind the screens most of the time. If you don't, like, deal with it right away. A lot of the really hard-hitting shit that's able to raise the stats faster is hit really hard. can, like, before you can set up, can kind of get rid of you and kind of do a lot of work versus you, so. Can't go for Blood Moon on this turn, unfortunately. He does have Ogre Pawn, which kind of sucks. He wasted his Terra, though, which is the good thing. He wasted Terra, and now I can actually go for Draining. I'm actually going to Protect on this turn. I'm going to go for Drain Punch here and get my health back. He might be, like, he might actually be Banded Dragon, I don't know. He might actually be banded. It doesn't seem like it's banded damage, but then again, I'm at pretty much like +3 because I have 2 bulk ups plus a reflect up. So I guess maybe that's why it's not doing much damage. I think we should be able to easily win the game here, though. I think if my opponent wanted to win, what I would have did is I would have went Terra Fairy Flutter Mane. That would have been a lot better because I don't have anything on the Scrafty to hit a Terra Fairy Flutter Mane, unfortunately. If you set up to like +2, knockoff still does a decent amount of damage if they're not booster energy. Or like Drain Punch does a solid amount of damage, but you kind of need help to kind of damage those type of things because you don't really have any coverage. I'm going to Blood Moon here. I'm going to Blood Moon. I think he might actually Protect on this turn, so I'm going to bulk up on this turn. There's no way he can one-shot the Scrafty at this point in the game. He just surrenders, okay. He just surrenders. Not bad. We're doing really good. We're doing really good. We're playing really well, though. I'm playing my ass off to try to win. If you can play this team pretty well, you can win a lot of games, but if you just want to go into a game expecting like just to use this team and like win a lot of your matches, it's not going to really happen. You gotta really know how to play this team. It's one of those more like difficult teams to play that you gotta play it and get used to the team first before you can actually start making really good use of it, being able to like set up and kind of know what you're good into and what it's bad against and like what you're able to do with the team to actually get some pretty free wins. But it's not one of those teams like a Chimpao Dragonite team or like a bunch of like more other like brain stuff, dead stuff like Flutter Mane, Rillaboom, Urshifu, Cores, or that type of thing. You just throw it onto a team and just hit the ladder and you can win a lot of your games. It's a little bit more difficult than that, but let's hop in another game with this team. Alright, we're here with another game. These are the teams I was talking about, like that are just the really sweaty teams. Weather is really common right now ever since they announced the Regulation F rules and everything with all the Paradox Mons being legal, including Walking Wake and all the newer ones, Iron Leaves and all those. So a lot of people are running like manual weather on Whimsicott or Tornadus, or just running like Torkoal, Ninetales on a lot of teams. So you kind of got to prepare for that, and this team kind of struggles versus it if you don't get set up. Opponents the Ninetales, Raging Bolt, Landorus T, which is a huge threat for this team. Whimsicott, Gouging Fire, which can be scary if it starts setting up on us, and then Metagross. So not really too scared of the Metagross because the Scrafty kind of walls that, but I don't know what I actually lead with here. I think he's going to lead with Sun, actually. I think he would actually probably lead with Sun. I know, it's just kind of scary because a lot of stuff on his team is really strong. So like I really need to try to get a way to at least set up a little bit to try to do some damage. I think I'll lead with this. I'll bring the Dragapult here. And I think I'll bring the Iron Crown. It's going to be a tough game to win. I think the only way I can maybe win this match is if I'm able to at least set up to +2 Calm Mind on the Ursaluna. It just depends what his sets are, too. The most common Gouging Fire set right now is either like Assault Vest or like even Bandit or sometimes Dragon Dance with like Covert, or not Covert Cloak, with Amulet, Clear Amulet. He actually has this, which is really weird. I don't know, my only problem here is you got to be careful for Whimsicott too. I went against a Whimsicott team that actually had Encore, and it would just Encore me into Calm Mind, or it would like Encore me into a status move the entire time, and I would not be able to do anything versus that. So if he has Encore, that's going to be really scary here. I think I can maybe just attack on this turn. I think that's what I do here. I just attack. I'm going to go Terra Normal, that way I'm not weak to Solar Beam, and I'm just going to Earth Power here. And then I'm going to actually Draining Kiss the Whimsicott to break its possible Focus Sash. I think that's my play here. I don't have like really a better play. kind of forced to Terra on turn 1, otherwise I'll end up losing the Ursaluna, and that's one of my win cons. Assuming he has this as well, I'm assuming he probably has Gouging Fire in the back, and then probably Raging Bolt. It's a solid amount of damage, breaks the Sash. Tailwind, that's fine, this team's really slow to begin with. Don't care. Nasty Plot, oh, are you Sash? Are you Focus Sash Ninetales? Otherwise you're getting blown into the 10th dimension. Goodbye. I'm glad I just attacked on turn 1. I'm glad I just attacked there. That was great. So we got a huge advantage going into the early start of the match. He does have Raging Bolt, so that's kind of a problem. Especially in the sun. This thing hits like an absolute truck in the sun. I think the only problem now is like he has the Tailwind up, so he's able to outspeed me here, but I'm just going to protect. Being paired alongside the Comfy as well, it kind of forces the Raging Bolt to go for Terra, like usually they're Terra Steel. Otherwise you're able to hit him for pretty solid damage, which I can maybe do here. I don't know if it's really worth though. I mean, I can call mine too, because the Raging Bolt really can't touch the Comfey, but I just don't want to get locked into Encore, that's the main problem. I'm going to Draining Kiss the Raging Bolt here and see how much damage it actually does. He's going to go Terra Steel, I'm assuming. Is he Terra Steel? He's Stellar Terra, so it doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter, because that's actually going to probably one-shot me. Never mind. I'm glad I protected there, so that's going to end up probably one-shotting me if it hits. See how much this actually does. That does a solid amount of damage for not being uninvested. Or for being uninvested. I get taunted, that's fine. That's completely fine by me. Yes, Thunderclap. Whatever. That's fine. I mean, at the same time, I don't know really what he has to one-shot me, though. If he's not running Terra Blast, I don't know how he one-shots me. Because Terra Blast with Stellar Terra is the thing that does the most damage. So if he's not running Stellar Terra Blast, he can't kill me. I think the main thing here is actually get rid of the Whimsicott. I don't really give a shit about the Raging Bolt, because like I have Dragapult in the back, and he can't one-shot that even under like Tailwind, so I think I actually just go for Blood Moon on the Whimsicott here, and then I just Draining Kiss again. Like, Draining Kiss, it can be a possible 3-hit KO depending on whether I actually get a high roll or not. See how much that actually almost kills me. Wow, that does a lot of damage. That is crazy, I'm dead. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Photosynthesis Stellar Terra boosted Thunderclap. That's crazy. And I think what I do here, though, like, I'm in a pretty good spot because, like, I can just keep going for Draining Kiss and he can't really do much to me. Because it has a chance to kill him here if I get a high roll. I can just protect on this turn. How many turns of Tailwind does he have left? He has 1 turn of Tailwind left, so on this turn I can probably actually just go for Protect. That way, if I have a chance of getting rid of the Raging Bolt here, which is the main threat. Unless he protects, I guess. He might actually have Protect, but I'm able to get him down to the point where he either dies here or he's so low of health where I get a super low roll. Wow. I'm living that. I'm living that. Dragon Pulse, that's fine. That's fine by me. So now I'm at the point where like I have priority Draining Kiss to where I'm actually able to not even worry about the Tailwind. Because he's forced to go for Tailwind if he really wants to here. He's forced to go for Tailwind. I'm going to go for Phantom Force on this turn, and I'm just going to Draining Kiss. He's forced to go for Tailwind if he wants to keep it here. I get rid of the Raging Bolt for free, so the Dragapult can actually live. Which is one of the good things about Comfey, too. The Comfey is actually really good into a lot of the Dragon types, too, especially Urshifu. A lot of people don't really consider, like, Comfey a check to Urshifu, but, like, especially if you can set up at least, like, 1 Calm Mind. Plus 1 Calm Mind has a chance of killing, or I think it does, like, 90-something% to most Urshifus. If they're running, like, a full, like, max build. If they're running, like, no HP or anything. So it's crazy. And it's plus 3 priority, so it outspeeds Aqua Jet, and it goes through Tailwind, so He does have Gouging Fire. It's kind of bad, but I can get some decent chip damage on it at least. Now if the Whimsicott wants to protect here as well, it won't be able to work because I have Phantom Force going, so I think Phantom Force from this range kills him. I just Draining Kiss. I don't know what he does here. I'm just going to Draining Kiss. I've got the Iron Crown in the back. I just need damage on this thing. Go for Dragon Dance. That's kind of scary. I will admit that's kind of scary. One KO from that range at least. Not bad. I don't know if at +1 if he actually outspeeds the Dragapult though, because this Dragapult's jolly max speed. I think Dragapult's base 140 something, 142 speed I think it is. I know it's way faster than like Iron Bundle and everything even. It's one of the fastest mons in the game. I mean I can go for Phantom Force here if I really want to, but I think Dragon Claw is a lot better. Actually, no, I'm not gonna go for that actually. Because he has a Burning Bulwark, so I'll end up getting burned. If I outspeed him, I'll go for that. If I outspeed him. And then I'm just gonna Draining Kiss here again. I just need damage, that's the main thing I need on him. He actually outspeeds. That's actually good though. I'd rather have the Comfey go down here than the Dragapult. The Dragapults can put in a bunch of work still, but at +1 I actually don't outspeed him, which kind of sucks. I don't think there's any way you can actually win here though, because Phantom Force goes behind Burning Bulwark, so he's still going to take damage on this next turn even if he goes for it. I don't know if I actually get burned from it though, since I'm not touching the Protect, I'm going behind it, so I'm kind of just curious on how that actually works. I know I just protect the Iron Crown here. Goes for Burning Bulwark. Does it actually go through this? I have never had this interaction happen, so let's find out actually how it goes. Do I get burned even though I'm going behind the Protect? Do I get burned? I don't get burned either. Wow, that's cool. So that's good to know. Phantom Force goes through Burning Bulwark and you do not get burned from it. That's huge. I just Dragon Claw here. He can't kill both mons. You can't kill both of us. I actually outspeed him at +1. That's good to know. So if you guys are going against Dragon Dance, Gouging Fire, I don't know what build he's running, but I'm assuming most builds. Booster Energy Iron Crown on this team at +1, outspeeds at +1 Gouging Fire. Good to know. Not bad though, not bad. Played really good there. We played that how it was supposed to go. Especially turn number 1 there. Him getting greedy and going for Nasty Plot, I think that's kind of what put him really hot behind in this match, because if I would have went for Calm Mind there, I think we would have been in a lot worse spot, because I think that Whimsicott probably had Encore. He probably would have went for Encore and I would have been locked in. I just kept going for attacks though, so he didn't really want to lock me into anything. I think that's why I didn't really use it, so. Apart from that, I'll probably throw one more game into this video for you guys. I'll see you guys then. Alright, we're here with one final game. I think if there's a match that we're going to finally lose, I think it's probably going to be this one. It's going to be a really tough game. My opponent has the Arclodon, Tornadus, Landorus T, Sinistcha, Fluttermane, and Metagross. So, really tough game. I think the good thing though is like the Ursaluna looks really good. Ursaluna hits Metagross for super effective damage. It doesn't really give a shit about Fluttermane, especially if I can set up with it. I can hit the Sinistcha because I have Mind's Eye. Tornadus can't really do much versus me, especially if I can set up, and then the only real threat is if the Arclodon or the Landorus can come in. If it's like Banded Landorus, it can maybe one-shot me, but Arclodon, if it sets up in the rain, that can be a threat too, but I can hit it for super effective damage on the special side. Most of the Arclodons you guys see, most of them, at least if they're like on a rain team, the most common item is Assault Vest right now, at least when I'm currently recording this. I've seen a few that are also Citrus, and I've seen a few other weird ones, but the most common item is Assault Vest, it seems to be, so. I'm going to bring that. I don't know if I actually should bring the Raikou here. Just set up screens. It outspeeds a lot of his team, but... I think I'll actually bring Raikou here. I'll bring Raikou. I don't know, I'll bring this. And I'll bring Dragapult late game. You can't intimidate me either. I think the only worst case thing is that the Dragapult really doesn't have much for the Arclodon. Especially if it gets a bunch of stamina boost. Maybe I was better off bringing Iron Crown, I don't know. We'll find out. See if maybe that's the way I lose the game, is I don't have the Iron Crown. So I think that maybe would have been a little bit better here. He actually leads Metagross, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he leads Metagross. Actually a solid lead for me here though. It's actually ain't too bad of a lead. I outspeed both of his Mons, I'm able to get up a screen. I think the worst case scenario is if he's like a weakness policy Metagross and then I give him a free weakness policy with a Snarl boost. That's maybe the worst case. I'm gonna call mine. I think I'm gonna call mine turn 1. I don't really know what the Metagross has to one-shot me unless he's like Terra Steel Choice Banded. And I'm just gonna reflect here. He's Terra. Let me guess, Terra Dragon. Or Terra Flying, one of those two. It's Terra Fighting. Oh, here we go with the Chople Berry. The Chople Berry is gonna come in clutch here, y'all. Plus the Reflect. The Reflect's really gonna help me. Hammer Arm, here's where the Chople Berry comes in clutch. See how much damage this actually does. It does nothing. Get out of here, bud. And he lowers his speed. So on the next turn, I'm probably able to outspeed him. If he doesn't go for Trick Room, at least. If he doesn't go for Trick Room, I'll probably outspeed him. Oh, he does have Trick Room. So he's running Hammer Arm Terra Fighting Metagross in Trick Room. Okay. Well, that's really fucking weird, but whatever. I think even at +1, I think even without the Chople Berry, actually, I should be able to live 1. So I'm just going to Blood Moon. I think a +1 Blood Moon probably kills him here. And then if it doesn't, then I can just go for... I mean, I can go for Electro Whip. That gives him a speed drop, so that makes him faster, actually. I don't really know if I want to do that. And I'll set up my screens if I somehow live. Let's see how much damage this does. We still have a Reflect. I live. See how much a Blood Moon does. +1, goodbye. That's the thing with this build. Like, this build is EV to where at +1, Blood Moon KOs. If it's neutral, usually the most stuff gets KO'd by it. Especially at +1, or even like +2, it's pretty much a guaranteed KO on a lot. Almost everything, apart from like really bulky stuff that it's like resisted with. I go down here, unfortunately, but that's fine. I get my light screen up. The good thing is I have Scrafty in the back, so Scrafty is really slow in Trick Room. So you can still play in Trick Room with this team because the Scrafty has no speed investment either. It's also really slow. And Arclodon, I think Arclodon's actually faster than the Scrafty in Trick Room. So you can actually get some solid damage off on it as well. I think I'm not even going to bother going after the Arclodon. I'm just try to set up. I'm going to set up to bulk up here. I don't know, a lot of the Arclodon too, like he has no rain here. I don't know where his rain is. Unless he has Body Press. I think that's the only thing he can... They usually run like Body Press with like the Stamina ability, and then they run like Electro Shot, and then like double stab moves, pretty much. So I don't know if I should actually Terra here. I don't know if it's too early. If he has Landorus in the back and I Terra Poison, that's going to be a problem, but I got a YOLO here. I'm going to Terra bulk up. And then I can Snarl, but at the same time, Snarl actually gives him a boost, so I can't really even do anything here, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. Unless I go into Dragapult, but like that doesn't do anything for me, so I kind of just want the Raikou to drop here. Hopefully it drops. Hopefully the Raikou drops. He's going to withdraw, so I get a free turn to set up. Thank you. Oh, here comes Landorus. Of course. Of course, the turn I go Terra Poison. Of course it is. Inner Focus, okay. I mean, the attack drop doesn't matter anyways. It's mainly for Fake Out, but... Of course I go Terra Poison. Of course I do. Because that makes me move to Ground-type moves. The Snarl, though, if the Raikou lives here, like, the Snarl actually should do some decent damage. As long as I don't get burned, that is. I go to +1. The Landorus is Covert Cloak. The Landorus is Covert Cloak, so he's not banded. He didn't take the drop. He's Covert Cloak. Well, that's good to know. I don't know who he goes for here. Like, I guess the Lando can go after the Scrafty, but like at +1, I don't think he's one-shotting me at least. I don't know. I think what I need here, like, what I really need to do is just get damage. I think I'm gonna get damage on the Landorus. I don't really give a shit about the Sinistcha because it can't do anything to me. It just doesn't do anything. I just keep snarling. The only thing is, if it gets a burn, that's gonna be a problem. That'll actually lose me the game if it gets a burn. Otherwise, it just doesn't do anything to me. And he does. What did I just say? What did I just say? Now I lose. Now I lose the game. The one Mon I don't want to get burned in it and lose now because of it. Oh, Clear Amulet. That's what it was. Wow, that sucks. I wish he would have went after the Raikou, because I just don't need the Raikou anymore. Raikou is dead weight for me, like, it just doesn't do anything. Especially versus Arclodon, it just gives him 3 stats. Doesn't do anything. The one thing that I do not want to get burned, and it gives me a burn, so I think that'll actually probably win him the game. I think the burn wins him the game here. I mean, I can bulk up again, I'm just going to knock off. I just need to get damage. I just need to get damage here, and then I'm just going to go for Snarl again. I think he is the last turn of Trick Room, actually, so... I think a Stomping Tantrum probably ends up KOing me at this range, probably. I think I actually lose, because I actually didn't bring the Iron Crown either, which will probably cost me here. Because the Dragapult doesn't do shit into the Arclodon. I get one-shotted in return, especially if he's Assault Vested. I get rid of his Sash. See how much this does. Yeah, that sucks. No, I think the only good thing is like that the Dragapult can at least outspeed the Landorus that's not Scarfed, but I need at least something alive here to actually be able to win the 1v1 versus the Duraludon. Or not the Duraludon, the Arclodon. His Trick Room is gone here. But I don't think it just depends what I go for here. Like, I'm gonna try to knock off. I mean, I could protect, I guess. I can try to protect just to get rid of the Sinistcha. I don't know if that really does anything for me, though, actually. I think what I really need to do is just attack on this turn. I go for knockoff here, and then I'll Snarl. I should actually be able to outspeed the Lando and get rid of the Sinistcha here, but... it just depends what he kills on this turn, because I'm hoping he goes after the Raikou. He does. Okay, that's good. That's good. So the Scrafty at least has one more super effective hit left in it, hopefully. I don't get a crit either, so that's bad. I don't know. This game, I think this game's pretty much done. Because Arclodon comes in, and if it's Assault Vest, like, I still lose, so I don't think it really matters. Like, I can protect on this turn. I think my only play here is to, like, protect. I can go for Phantom Force, and I can protect on this turn. But I think even then I still lose, because if he goes after the Dragapult with Dragon Pulse, it one-shots me. And then I'm left with the Burn Scrafty versus an Arclodon that has, like, non-stop stamina boost, so... I don't know. I think even from this range, a knockoff won't even kill him. That's how bad it is. I'll protect here, and then I'm gonna go for Phantom Force on the Lando. I think that's my only play. He goes for protect. It does not matter. Oh, he even has Draco Meteor, so I 100% lose the game now. I don't even think I live a Dragon Pulse. It's an Archlodon, it has 135 special attack, so I think that's game. I think that burn won him the game. If he did not burn the Scrafty, that 100% won him the game. That 100% won him the match. I'm gonna outspeed here, so I'm gonna kill the Landorus. I don't really know what I do here. I'm hoping he goes after the Dragapult, but at the same time, I'm just gonna bulk up. I'm just gonna bulk up here, I guess. Because I'm gonna Phantom Force, he's gonna kill the Dragapult probably. I don't want to give him a stamina boost. Maybe at plus neutral, I guess technically neutral attack. Maybe I can get enough health back to live one move. Oh, he's actually gonna kill the... Oh, damn, I wish I would have attacked. I don't think it would have mattered though, because he actually outspeeds me, so... Unfortunately, I don't think a Dragon Claw actually... Oh, he's actually Life Orbed. So his Assault Vest, I guess, didn't really matter here, because I'm a physical attacker. I don't think a Dragon Claw one-shots him from this range. I think the only way I win here is if he misses Draco Meteor. He has to miss a Draco Meteor. Actually, how much damage is this? This is 90, 80. I guess if I Phantom Forced, I can maybe do more damage, and if I get a crit. He's gonna Protect, okay. I wish I had, like, Dragon Dance. That would have been great, but I don't have that on this build. I think he protected because he wanted to wait for my light screen to expire there. That's why he protected, but that's not even a 2-hit KO. It's not even a 2-hit KO, plus I give him a stamina boost. Oh, he's not even stamina. He's not even stamina, I'm dead. I think if I would have brought Iron Crown, we maybe would have had a better chance to win the game. That did fuck me over. I think the main thing that fucks me over, though, was the burn there. That burn 100% won him the game. If he never got that burn off the Machi Gotcha, like right after I said if I don't get burned here, we should be able to win, and then he ends up getting a burn, I think we would have won the game. But I think the Iron Crown there at the end would have been a lot better. Because I had Focus Blast, and Focus Blast probably would be... Considering he was an Assault Vest, probably would have one-shotted him. So that kind of sucked. Can't win them all, though. Can't win them all. That's one thing you're going to find out with this team, especially if shit out of your control happens, it's really difficult to win. Shit like random burns and that type of thing, but let's talk a little bit more about this team. Overall, if you guys want a pretty damn fun, unique team to play on the ladder, or at least the casual ladder with, I don't think I'm going to be using this team on the Regulation F ranked ladder when that goes live in like 2.5 weeks, depending where you guys are seeing this. I might not even have this team available by then, because like I said earlier in the video, like if this team is not available and the code does not work, that means the team was taken down. I'll probably end up replacing this team with something else going forward, so it's something that I'll actually use going into Regulation F, because I don't think this team's actually super viable for that as well. I don't think it'll get you that far, but overall, like some of the stuff I would actually change with the team, like there's a lot of stuff I would have already changed. The main thing is I would have actually got rid of the Scrafty, and I would actually put Scrafty on this team. I would have took that away. And I would actually swap that out with Galarian Moltres. I think that, alongside the Raikou and especially the Comfey, would have been like 10 times better. The main reason why I never did that, though, is because, one, this team was pretty much already almost built, and 2, Scrafty is one of my favorite Gen 5 mods. It's a really cool mod. I wanted to try it out, so I figured I might as well try it out on this team, and I already had one in-game, so didn't really have to do much to get it. I already had one. I just needed to EV train it and everything, so I threw it onto this team, but that would be one thing I would actually get rid of. And then instead of like the Ursaluna, I would have a special attacker there. I would need like another physical attacker. I would pretty much swap the Scrafty, which is a physical attacker, for the special Galarian Moltres. And then I think I would either throw like regular Ursaluna on this team with like Flame Orb instead of like Ursaluna, or something like a Calm Mind Pre-Marine. It would be pretty cool, or I don't know, something like that, kind of. So I don't know what else there really would be. King Gambit wouldn't be too bad, but you're doubling up on dark types. There's a few other things that are like really bulky that could be really solid in this, like in that like the physical type of Mon replacement thing for this type of team as well. But I'd have to go back to the drawing board and like all that type of thing with this team, and I don't think it's really worth doing that as well. But there's a few things I would do. There's a few other stuff that I would kind of change with this team if I'd be able to go back and like like recreate it or whatever and kind of edit the team, but it doesn't really pay doing that when I'm not going to be using the team on the ladder. It's kind of more of a fun team. Kind of just threw it out at first team around Raikou. My favorite mon I wanted to use, it's finally on a team. One of the stars of the team, and I also wanted to use SCRAFTY. Really cool, and I haven't used Blood Moon or Ursaluna at all, at least on any of my teams. So I finally was able to do that with this team. And an Iron Crown, kind of cool. Haven't used Comfey at all. Really cool mon. I only used Dragapult in singles. I haven't really used it in VGC at all, so kind of a cool mon. I think the only other thing too, there's going to be some people that say that with this team, why am I not running Dragon Darts? The main reason why I'm not running the Dragon Darts on the Dragapult for this team is just because I really want the single target damage. If you're running Dragon Darts, it's a double target move, and being only base 50 power and being a spread move, as if somebody doesn't protect or die on that current turn, it makes it kind of unreliable. So most of the time, the Dragapult's coming in as like a late game cleanup mon, so you're going to want as much damage as possible. You're not going to be wanting to spam Dragon Darts, because otherwise, if you don't one-shot or like kill whatever you're going against most of the time, you're usually going to get one-shotted in return. So I know there's somebody probably going to say that as well in the comments, but let me know how you guys do with the team. Show me some feedback. Let me know how you guys do. More of a fun team. I got some more stuff on the way. I've got a Trick Room team I'm currently in the process of building, and then maybe 1 or 2 other teams going into Regulation F. And I got a bunch more sessions with a few other, bunch of other rental teams from other players going forward. So, like the video, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Thanks for stopping by.